Kia ora nau mai, haere mai, hello and welcome to Te Whanganuiatara Wellington here for the New Zealand Division 1 Ultimate Frisbee Championships. I am Lauren Burgess here with my co-commentator. Lovely to have you.
Marito Siahani Royal.
We are so excited to bring you this first crossover game streamed today for Nexus B2 and Blueberries Jam.
Blueberries Jam hailing from Auckland, and Nexus locally have our Wellington team. They are both, I believe, the top of their pool. They played in different pools yesterday, so this crossover is for seeding going into semifinals. So a big game on the line, but both teams have an avenue to the final still, no matter the outcome of this game. We saw some intense warm-ups going on. Lots of communication about subbing groups and matchups. So we've got teams that are tightly in tight communication.
And this morning here at the fields, weather looking a little bit better than it did yesterday. We're not having quite as much drizzly rain, but still some gusts of wind, very swirly throughout the playing field, so difficult to predict. We'll probably see quite a bit of zone from both teams. Hello, hello.
Yes, I expect a bit of zone, especially from the Wellington team, who have who traditionally played a lot of zone in the windy city, the windy capital city. So we'll see what the Blueberries can do against that. The Blueberries team, a little bit on the shorter side potentially, so those release points can be advantageous in the wind. Low releases so that the disc doesn't get too much air. The Wellington team, Nexus, a club that's been around for a couple of years, and Blueberries, a team that's been a little bit of an older club, but these two have clashed together year after year at this tournament, quite often in the finals, so it'll be an exciting game this morning.
Yes, potentially a preview of the final match coming up tomorrow. And that's to say Auckland doesn't they practice in the wind quite often themselves. They usually play on fields pretty close to the coast, so this weather not unfamiliar to either teams.
We see some comms going on communication on the side, on the line of the Blueberries. Maybe they're calling their zone early or just calling their matchups. They are coming out on defense, so this is their chance to stifle the movement of the Nexus offense line. We have Tan with the disc ready to pull on the far right-hand side of your screen. So yeah, both of these teams coming off a series of wins yesterday. So that streak is going to end for one of the teams today, this morning. Big pull, nice distance. Landing high side. The prevailing wind is from the far side of your screen to the near side of your screen.
And O'Connor now with the disc sends it over to Young pretty quickly.
We see that zone as we kind of anticipated. Once we saw them talking on the line, we see an arrowhead zone currently. 3 people up front. There are swing options open. Currently 3 players back for Nexus. Pop over the top, nice little throw. Ooh, but too much for Oldenburg carry, instead finding Lewis.
Incredible cleanup there from Lewis to make sure that Nexus is able to maintain the possession. Some great handler movement between Young and Stephanie Lynch. Stephanie Lynch gets a huge put, and oh my gosh, that is a first point hold for Nexus Blueberries. Such impressive handler movement by Nexus to make sure they can get themselves through the Blueberry zone.
Absolutely, and O'Connor just toes that in to finish this point. We see this little shot off the fingers, but excellent positioning there by Lewis to back up that throw. Lynch sends a slightly longer shot. Ruhlman to receive this, an excellent receiver, constantly sharking around in the end zone, and she's able to just pop it through to her left here, signaling to her teammate that she wants it in the end zone. She won't settle for anything less, and just through the pressure of Tan. So nice take, not letting the pressure of the Blueberry player on her shoulder interrupt her focus.
And that was absolutely textbook zone offense from the Nexus team here. You could see lots of passing, lots of short passes between the handlers to try to keep the disc moving, to try to keep Blueberries on the back foot, and then able to get a couple high throws over the zone up front on the handlers to really force Blueberries to stay mobile and get through their defense.
Absolutely. And we saw that at the end of the possession, Nexus was kind of stuck on the low side. They didn't need to swing, but later on in the game, they might not have that scoring throw, so they need to be able to be patient and work it to the high side again, even on their end zone.
This is our first look at Nexus's defense. Excited to see what they bring down the field as the pull goes off.
A little bit of a low pull, lands just past halfway. We see Huang picking up the disc. Lots of movement of her mark with her fakes, sending it to the high side.
Looks like the wind picked up that throw just a little bit, but able to reel it in.
Zhou now looking for a handler, popping it, or looking to pop. A little bit of a wobbly throw, but secured by Huang, back to Zhou. There's a long under by Chansey, but it's covered by the by Booth. And a turn there.
Huang, unfortunately, not able to reel it in. Nexus now picking up, and a quick throw into the end zone. Unfortunately, just out of the hands of Lucy Parsons, not able to reel it in. So Blueberries get another shot at this.
So we saw a quick turn there by Neil. Picks up the disc, shoots it immediately.
Yeah, some good heads-up play, trying to make sure that Blueberries aren't able to get onto defense. But unfortunately, a little too fast, a little too excited.
Yes, and Parsons, I imagine, is thinking about the rest of the tournament we have to play at this rate. We see Blueberries a little trapped here on the line.
Chow with lots of fakes, and unfortunately a first throw throwaway, which gives Nexus a short field to try to score this point.
Sarah Chow didn't have a lot of support in the handler space, so just trying to throw it under pressure from her mark. And then Neil to pick up the disc, supported there by
Terry.
Ooh, and Booth is not able to. The wind is gusty today. It just makes the disc go up and down a little bit.
The wind seems to know right when the players are going to release the disc and just picks it up out of the hands of the receivers.
Yes, it's hard to pick up the wind on the stream, but it is gusting and not consistent.
Huang to pick up now. Lots of gorgeous fakes, but really tough to get off of that corner cone. Gets a huge upline shot. Just barely out of reach for Sarah Jones. Again, this darn gusty wind pulling things right out of the fingertips.
Bit of a misread maybe, but it is a tough read. She's just kind of trying to backpedal to catch that disc, but it's fading too far. And we see Neil now, match up by Berries. So they're playing player on player. Booth now looking downfield. Good to break her mark there to Neil. We see Terry now working with Neil. 1-2, 1-2. They're looking right at each other.
Some really impressive handler communication this point to just take the easy 100% throws down the field. We see now Terry to Neil for the score. That's a break for Nexus B2.
Excellent cut there by Neil, just never stops her momentum. And Neil's been a very long-time player. She brings a lot of leadership and experience to this team. She's played here, she's played nationally, she's played overseas. So just showing that she can command the direction of the field there. And acres of space as well.
You can tell that these players have played together for quite a long time, trusting each other, knowing exactly where their teammate is going to be on the field so that they can place the disc beautifully into the end zone. Leading pass for Neil, and Neil able to run onto it and just pluck it out of the air. Such an impressive point for Nexus.
And a good feeling to get an early break. Give yourself a little bit of a points buffer. We've seen comebacks on this field during the weekend. So it's, no one is ever in or out of this game. This game really important to learn from the other team. As we said, there is a chance that these two teams are going to meet in the final. So this is a chance for them to feel each other out. Having played each other previously doesn't mean that this team this year is the same as the team from the previous year.
Definitely, Rachel. Exciting to see what both teams are able to bring down the field for the rest of this match. And certainly a learning experience for both teams. Looks like Ollie Judd on the pole for Nexus.
So we'll see what what is going to be thrown by Nexus on defense. We saw match last time. We see a hand ready. Nice pull by Judd. It's fading a bit far to the far side of the field. It looks like it's out. Picked up by Barry's player.
So that'll come in on the brick mark in the middle of the field because it landed out of bounds.
We see 4 handlers back for the Blueberries. Maybe they anticipated a zone. One of the handlers is, we see it's more of an isolation play. Excellent work there by Young. Jinking to break her player's ankles.
Chansey with a nice throw forward to Min.
Min looking down line. Lefty trying to move her mark. Excellent pickup by Tan. Maybe not for her, but she had her eyes on the disc the whole time.
Most important thing is to hold on to possession there.
Low looking downfield. Low and Tan working together. Nice take there.
Fantastic pickup by Mendez. Mendez centering back to Low. Low back to Young.
This mark is excellent. They're really struggling to work it into the middle and the far side of the field. They're kind of stuck on this low side corner. We see them move it a little higher now. Inside shot by Tan and through the fingertips there of Philip, but excellent take there.
Mendez with such a gorgeous grab for the Blueberries.
That was a beautiful throw, though. It was just through the hands of the Nexus player, and Mendez doesn't get distracted by the defense. This gets Blueberries on the board.
Absolutely clinical from the Blueberries, able to thread the needle through multiple defenders into the end zone. And this is the first score for Blueberries, so let's see if it can change the momentum, try to pick up some energy the Blueberries' way.
Absolutely. We get to see this shot again. This cut from Mendez developed, you can't quite see it, but developed from on the right-hand side of the end zone all the way across the back. Excellent awareness by Philip. I don't think that was her player, but she was right in the lane there.
A gorgeous inside out by Tan. Such a tough throw to perfect, but once you've got it perfected, it's a huge weapon on the field.
Absolutely, just opens up that break side for you in the end zone. And also commonly used if you are looking to throw the front of your stack, if you're in a vertical as well. Blueberries now looking to come down on defense. They are, again, pointing and chatting in the line. It could be another zone. The wind being a crosswind means that a zone can be thrown in both directions with effectiveness in both directions. We see Nexus indicating readiness. Huang now sends the disc up.
A nice floaty pull from Huang.
Ooh, and an uncharacteristic turn from Broadley. I think Parsons just didn't think that was for her. So a miscommunication on a soft turn, an easy turn given to Blueberries. Blueberries down a break, so this is their chance to take advantage of a short field.
Huang with the disc, sends it over to Chow. Nice. Chow coming back. Lee, nice and patient, finds the reset. Young again. A couple bobbles.
Chansey right on the end zone line now, but an active mark and just into the ground. No bounce in that air bounce, unfortunately.
A good step out from Chansey, but unfortunately not able to complete into the end zone. Getting a little bit excited there. I think adrenaline starting to pick up and just wasn't able to finish the throw.
We see Blueberries giving it a chance to set up their defense, but it's being moved quickly by Terry through and snagged there.
What a grab by Sarah Jones and a quick restart for the Blueberries, getting another chance at a short field score.
Huang in a little bit of space manages to kind of lose her defender, swings now. We see Jones again with the disc. Nice release point from Jones, nice and stable.
Jones finding Young.
And a big swing there, but behind Chow. Just a tough ask to have a massive pivot into that swing. Parsons looking big.
Parsons with the disc. Looks like the marks are staying nice and wide to prevent deep throws, but that gives Nexus the opportunity for lots of give-goes. And then a quick reset by Huang, just in the right place at the right time. A beautiful defense. Chow calming down a little bit, looking for a reset. Overthrows Huang just a little bit. So Nexus now looking to restart quickly.
Great commitment there to lay out for that disc by Huang. Unfortunately, turnover still. Broadly now. Nexus have been falling for the poaches that Blueberries are playing, so let's see if they can tighten that up. And a big shot off the fingertips of Lewis.
A huge shot. Unfortunately, sometimes you do miss your shots.
Absolutely. That quick movement was definitely had Berries in the back feet, on their heels a little bit, but the shot just not precise enough.
An impressive jump from Lewis to get a fingertip on it, but with this wind and how unpredictable the field has been lately, couldn't reel it in.
We see Huang looking downfield. There are lots of switches by Nexus on defense. Big shot goes up. Big, big, big. Oh, and like there's a hole in her hands. The disc goes straight through Chansey's hands there. So they're calling set. They are throwing a little bit of a zone defense here. Early start through to Halliday. And Parsons again.
Parsons pointing for where she wants her team to cut, but not quite open yet. Parsons really running the backfield for Nexus, not able to get that reset from Halliday.
Parsons did the work to get to the break side of the handler marks of the Berry zone, so it's unfortunate that they weren't able to continue that. Broadly taking the unders now, calling for a switch. We see a late stall, inside shot right into O'Connor's hands.
That was some shut-down mark defense from Halliday. A great way to force that turn. Quick restart on the Nexus offense.
A lot of these throws against this zone from Nexus have been reaching like stall 1 or 2. It's been nice shot inside, low release to Halliday to score. That was Broadly with the assist there.
Broadly to Halliday, great connection. You can see each team with 5 turnovers. This was a very back and forth point. Difficult to figure out who's gonna take it down, but ultimately ends as a hold for Nexus.
Yes, so dirty hold for Nexus, which is a phrase that has used when they're not able to, they turn the disc, get it back, and then score. So we get to see that score again. This really low shot here, you see her drops down to the ground, hits Halliday in the hands. Halliday having to drop down a little bit too.
Nice and patient, cleaning it up a little bit, but able to make sure that Nexus goes away with the score for that point. Looks like both teams taking a little bit of a breather. That was definitely a long point. Lots of running down each side of the field, so everyone checking in with each other. Doesn't look like a full timeout, but definitely a slow restart potentially. Or maybe it is a timeout.
Blueberries, their zone did work quite a few times, so they potentially are going to be looking to throw that again. Not this point, obviously they are currently on offense. But yes, they managed to hover just out of view of the throwers quite a few times and then come in and poach in the lanes that they were throwing into. So it has been effective for them. They've shown that they can do it. They just need to finish the job now once they get the disc and score their breaks. But now they just have the job of scoring their offense point.
Looks like Nexus ready for the pull.
Big shot from Neil, nice height, good distance. 10 to receive.
Tan centering to Chow, back to Tan. Just barely out of reach for Tan, so Nexus with another short field opportunity for a break.
High release to Judd. Judd's right in the corner, sharp little shot through to Booth. Booth trying to run with her arms extended, but unfortunately that doesn't help her get any closer to the disc. a good attempt there by Booth, but way too much blade on that from Judd. So Berries now have to work the full field. We see Tan and supported by Low.
And Blueberries now have the opportunity to calm down the temperature a little bit, take a breather, and make sure that they can complete these throws.
There's a lot of inside shot that we've seen before.
What a reel-in by Shimin Lee. So impressive.
Oh, that's an excellent take there by He. And then not able to jink open for the break. Looking for a dump through to Young now.
Young now with a huge put, just not able to bring it in for Meilong Huang. But Nexus, if they want to get this break now, they're going to have to work it all the way down the field.
That was a lovely throw, and it was a good read, but not able to actually grab the disc. You need to do all parts of it in order to score. So Blueberries now back on defense. They are showing a matchup, like match on person-on-person defense. Jet coming in with the disc now.
Looks like person on the handler is a bit zony in the downfield space.
Ooh, and a couple centimeters past the fingertips of Booth, but she's quick back on defense.
Tan now with the disc. Tan looking for a reset. Some great handler defense.
And a late stall throw to the far corner. And that will do it.
Melody Young able to reel it in for the Blueberries.
Maybe a little bit of luck on Tan's side there, but the receiver was completely ready for that shot.
Yeah, once that stall count gets above around 7 or 8, you're just gonna push it to the end zone and hope one of your teammates is back there. And it looks like for the Blueberries, Melody Young was back there ready for it.
That was some excellent defense by Nexus. You looked like the person who was marking the dump and the person on the disc were right in tune. They were trying to stop the same things. Locked Tan down, not able to get it off the sideline despite multiple attempts. Some really active defense there from Nexus.
Yeah, Becca Booth, lots of fast feet. You probably weren't able to see it on the stream, but also some really helpful supportive communication from the sideline for Nexus to let Booth know exactly what was happening down the field behind her to make sure that the Blueberries player wasn't able to get the throw off.
So that's a hold for Berries. Still some work to do from them. They're down 1 break at the moment. A slightly smaller squad from the Blueberries.
They do have 2 teams this year. We were able to see Blueberries Honey play yesterday. Some really impressive play from both teams yesterday. Would highly recommend checking out that game after this one, if you get the chance. But stay tuned for now, because this has been a really fun game thus far, and I think it's going to continue being really high-level, impressive Ultimate Frisbee.
Nexus also has 2 teams at this tournament, but it's a little easier to field 2 teams when it's in your local city. We see movement now, the zone being thrown again by Blueberries, through to Lynch in the middle.
Parsons.
Altenberg carry now. Parsons cut this zone up earlier. Now just waiting on the low side. Completely open.
Lynch back to Parsons. Seeing more of that give and go, just working it down the field.
Parsons just standing a couple meters away and really taking advantage and a little over the top.
What a reel in by Tara O'Connor. Such a gorgeous grab. You know, that natural height advantage comes into play once in a while, and that was a really pretty way of breaking through the zone defense and using your skills to your advantage.
Lynch and Parsons setting off to the races there. We see this shot from Lynch coming over the top. A little cheeky shot. I think she realized that afterwards. But O'Connor, a really great receiver, takes it high under no pressure.
O'Connor also able to get away from all of the defenders. So even though it was a bit harder to reel in that Frisbee, she didn't have any pressure from the Blueberries defense to force her to go up early or pick an inappropriate line that would have made it harder for her to reel that in. So really given lots of opportunity from the Blueberries to pull that disc down and make that score.
From the Berries' point of view, they're going to need to get in between the likes of Parsons and Lynch if they're going to keep playing some little ticky-tacky 1-2. They just ate the meters up down the field to get close to the end zone with that. You need to either look at having the handler marks in the zone stay an extra second on the next receiver or potentially an assassin. But something needs to change there because Lynch and Parsons made that look quite easy. But something to think of on their next defensive point.
These Nexus handlers really seem to know what they're doing and have really great chemistry with each other. You can see there's usually 3 handlers in that backfield space. There's a 4th person always ready to come back and support when Blueberries does come down in a zone to try to make sure that they're consistently moving the disc and getting in front of the defense to work their way downfield.
Yes, definitely some confidence on the Nexus side. Something that the Berries could also look to do. Move the disc with, trust in your teammates. Lots of trust, lots of confidence.
Pull goes up. Looks like it's out of bounds once again, so that'll be coming in at the brick mark.
A brick is called. That did go out about halfway up, and it is high side. I probably would have taken it from the sideline, but we don't know what the Berries have called on their line. They might have a plan. We see a zone from Nexus. An arrowhead zone, so you have 3 up front, a 4th player behind them, kind of their heart. Oh, and a little hand in there, but able to hold on to it.
Lots of fast movement from the handlers, which is a good way to take advantage of the zone defense, but unfortunately not able to continue holding on to the Frisbee.
Perhaps some too fast of movement, and we see it off the hands there of Young. A little tie for her.
Some great pivoting by Helena Terry to move her mark, but unfortunately not able to get it in the hands of Young. So Blueberries now with another opportunity.
So we see this zone forcing Blueberries to go wide. Oh, and Low tries to get low and wide to grab that, but it's not enough.
No boots with the fur this time.
An excellent bid. We love it whenever anyone gets on the ground for the disc. That's commitment. Swing to Terry. A very open, continued Altenberg carry. Nice take up high. And back to Altenberg carry. Lots of faking. She's got some excellent high releases on her. Let's see if we can see any of those. Oh, and too low for Neil. Berries with another chance. Low lining up the huck. We see Young and Neil in the end. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there. We see a foul, and accepted is quickly called by Neil.
So Young now picking up this disc. Blueberries with really advantageous field position. 2 receivers for the Blueberries and no defenders. So Blueberries now quickly find Sarah Jones. Jones resetting
to Huang. Huang now swinging to Low. This zone is still maintaining its shape, even though we're kind of at the brick mark of the Berries end zone. And we see Low receiving the disc in the middle now, staring at a wall of white. Nexus in their zone still. Through to Huang. Nice shot to Young. Oh, and an excellent blade.
Who else but Julia Young to pull in that disc? A Young to Young, or Jones, apologies, Sarah Jones. Gorgeous reel in there.
That's a shot we've already seen this game from Young, and I expect we'll see it again. It's a nice, reliable shot for her. Comes down with a little quick so that there's no chance for the defense to get under it, but not too fast for her receiver. We see this cut starting early from the left hand to the right hand corner of the screen. Has ages. Altenberg Harry not able to recognize that threat quickly enough. We see a low grab there, and just that consistent shot goes up.
What a great connection and good heads-up offense by Young to see her teammate rushing as far as possible to the other side of the field, nice and early.
We see Berries looking to pull to Nexus now. It's been a game of zone so far. It's been effective.
Lots of zone, been very fun to watch as this wind has been getting nice and gusty.
Yeah, zone is sometimes a game of who can work out where the holes are quicker than the other team. And especially sometimes particular players can work out where the holes are in the opposition zone, and when they have to sub, as players inevitably do, the responsibility is passed on to someone who maybe hasn't worked it out on their as a teammate. So you really need to support each other from the sideline and on the field. Broadly to pick up the disc and take it from the sideline. High release through to Judd. Gray looking to receive the disc. Nexus is just so happy to live with this in the handler space. Ruhlman in the middle, moves the mark.
Right to Parsons. Parsons over.
Ooh, and too fast for Lewis. Lewis is fast, but not quick enough, unfortunately. Which gives Tan the disc. Tan pointing at her teammates, lining up a long shot. Nice huck. Judd's in the end, in the deep though. Excellent grab there.
All Young ready to pull in the disc. Looks like Chansey now. Chansey tries to center it over to Crystal Tan, but Tan not able to reel it in.
That little short flick can be so zippy and hard to catch in the wind. We see Parsons now, looks to swing.
Broadly, lots of great fakes. Parsons back to Broadly, given that give and go. Judd now.
Very close to the sideline here, and shoots it through to Parsons on the sideline too. It's being called out. That's a tough one. I think her feet might have been moving. If she is touching any of the paint, it is considered out of the field. So we're going to have a bit of a chat now. The sideline being so close, you're able to see it now. It's tough to know when she had control of the disc. Her right foot.
That's a tough one to call. Let's see if we can see it.
It is called a turn, so Berries are giving the disc back.
And on the replay, it did look like one of her feet was out of bounds.
And we have Young Achi with a chance here. And that is unfortunate. That all the work, but none of the glory. It unfortunately bobbles it and catches it out as a result.
So as you saw, one leg out of bounds for the Blueberries, unfortunately. Both teams having some difficulty with this line.
This is a tough spot. That is a double team from Berries. And I believe it is being called by Parsons. So only one player is allowed to be within 3 meters of the person with the disc. 2 players very close to Judd with the disc there.
This is a zone strategy to try to take away as much as possible and force exactly that. So Blueberries now right on the end zone line have the opportunity to make this a point for them.
10 picking up the disc. We've seen that quite frequently. Walks it up to the line, looking for a quick score.
Phillip on the defense.
Just really struggling to get it to, looking to only one receiver to begin with, and a stall is called. So we see Chow take the disc, but the stall will be discussed before we resume play. Tan was just looking at that one player for a long time and was punished as a result by the stall count.
And a really floaty replay. It was impressive that Chow was able to pull that in.
Stall is retracted, so the disc will stay with Chow. Good chats on the field, quick resolution of that call. It's always good to see a retracted call.
Yeah, 3 calls this game, but able to quickly be resolved each time. So lots of spirit being shown on the field.
Good hand signals from the Wellington players as well. Disc is now in with Chow, looks back to Tan.
Tan looking upfield, doesn't really have an option, but some great movement from the Blueberries. Oh, what a grab! Once again, Sarah Jones able to make it happen for the Blueberries.
That's an exciting grab. Moving back with this, she grabbed that too, which is difficult. You gotta keep your balance, you gotta keep your focus on the disc. That's a break for the Berries.
So we are back on serve. Each team now has a break.
Absolutely, a tight game here.
Very intense. You can see, especially with zone offenses, you have to balance between fast movement of the disc between your handlers to get the defense on the back foot, but also making sure that you can catch the disc.
Absolutely. Lots of celebrations on the field by the Blueberries. We just see Gray trying to get in on the D on that disc, but excellent job by Jones to stay focused. A timeout, I believe, has been called by Nexus. We see their coach, Nick Panu, talking to them.
Both teams taking the chance to get a bit of water, take a breather, and check in on their strategy.
Tan was quite isolated in the handler space there, but also kind of very focused on getting it downfield rather than looking to move it horizontally. Perhaps something that they want to look at, Tan taking a lot of the responsibility to score. Sharing that responsibility may also be a wise move. That way Nexus doesn't think that they need to focus on one individual player in 10 in order to get the turns. If you spread the danger across multiple handlers, it's more to cover on defense.
Especially in the end zone, you want to see those resets. It's disheartening to take a reset when all you want to do is get it into the end zone. But with those high stall counts and lots of movement happening, it's a lot easier to get around your defenders if you lose a few yards, take a reset, and then have a new angle to attack from.
It's tougher when you are down a break, because at that stage you do need to get a break back, and sometimes you do need to play a bit of a riskier game. If you are up a couple points or a couple breaks, you just have to live with the disc, and running the clock out is actually to your advantage. So I do understand the need to be a bit more aggressive in trying to score, but sometimes the process of achieving that is just by playing more ultimate.
And it worked out for the Blueberries this time. They were able to get that break and now are back on serve. 4-4 with 4 more points to take it for the half.
Yes, we're playing a game to 15 here, or a time cap, a soft cap of 90 minutes. So we are still kind of in the early stages of this game, although we're taking a rather long time out. We see Blueberries now cheering on the sideline. They're going to have to put their D-line back out.
Getting ready, getting amped, getting pumped.
Absolutely. We see Jones going back on after scoring that last point. So we'll see, I'd say probably another zone.
I think that's a good bet.
Absolutely. It's a similar shaped zone from both sides, but it's a little different. We see no Parsons on the field this point. She was kind of making some excellent movement in the face of that zone.
Huge shout out to our volunteers at the tournament today. Really appreciate all the help they're doing, making sure the athletes are staying hydrated, making sure we've got sunscreen at all of the fields, and ensuring that this tournament can run as smoothly as possible. Thank you so much to our volunteers. This tournament could not happen without you.
Absolutely. A lot of these volunteers, people who play Ultimate in Wellington already, and so it is an exciting opportunity for them to watch some Frisbee too, but we're so thankful. Pull goes up now from Huang. Lands about 3/4 of the way on the sideline. Neil to pick up.
Still on the sidelines, so Nexus having to push it into the midfield, but they get some great centering throws. What a throw by Ollie Judd, looking super far downfield, but a great D by Sarah Jones to force a turnover. Chow now with the disc. Chow with a nice big throw. Young unable to pull it down. What a bummer, but a great idea.
And another huck. We're seeing a bit of tennis today. Ooh, and O'Connor takes that down on the second attempt.
What a pull-in by O'Connor. And then, oh gosh, another second opportunity catch by Becca Booth. Nexus fighting for that catch, fighting for those throws, and making it happen. What an incredible run of play by the Nexus team.
That was a second touch catch to a second touch score. We get to see it again. O'Connor has her eyes locked onto the disc, and through the contact with the disc manages to grab it and acres of space. Booth has all day. She goes a little early, and those gloves coming in clutch, lays out for the disc, gets on the ground.
Adding a bit of drama for our spectators there, maybe wanting to add to their highlight reel as well, but they're going to be so proud of themselves for making sure that they made that point happen for themselves.
And getting horizontal.
So happy. The big celebration. Just stoked to finish off that point.
That is a hold from Nexus. So the O-line did their job. Yeah, there were quite a few longer throws. Floatier throws, especially in the left-hand direction, towards the left-hand side of the screen. The disc kind of sitting up, perhaps maybe needing to release with a little bit more nose down if it's a backhand, nose in an IO shape, if you want that to not sit up as much.
There's a bit of a crosswind on the field. So coming from the hill towards us in the commentator's booth, from the far side of your screen towards you, but it's also very gusty. So at the moment, no wind at all, but picking up right as the pull goes off, you can see the wind floating that disc, unfortunately, out of bounds.
Tan calls a brick, and we'll be walking it to the middle of the field. We see a zone from Oort. Oh, no, we see match, sorry, from Nexus. Finding their matchups as Tan walks the disc up, isolating a player in the middle by Berries. We see Young getting the disc high. Excellent grab. Back to Tan, looking to send it downfield for yards. Jones with the disc.
Now. Jones looking downfield, now trying to find a reset.
Neil is poaching off, leaving someone open, but she finds her player now. Chow in the middle now. And too high, taken out by Parsons.
Again, that height differential giving Nexus an opportunity to take it back and get a break of their own. Parsons. Just Cook now, back to Parsons.
Big pressure by Chow. Down
Neil
the line to
finding
Halliday.
Halliday. Halliday back to Neil. Looks like person matchup from the Blueberries.
Ooh, and that's just a bit tough. It came in a little sharp for Terry.
High count upline throw from Neil to Terry, just not able to complete. So Blueberries get another opportunity here.
We see Young isolated in the middle once again. Clears out.
Tan centering.
And just out of the hands. That's a little bit of a gift to Nexus.
So disappointing from Sarah Chow. She's going to want that one back.
Terry with a clutch grab, pops it through to Cook.
Quick and easy, and that is a break for Nexus. So Nexus now up 2 breaks to 1 against Blueberries, and that means Nexus up 6 against Blueberries 4.
We saw the defense from Nexus had a person poaching off the third handler, which wasn't, I'm not sure if it was recognized by Berries. It'd be lovely for their sideline to pass that information on to them, because it did mean there were more people covering those shots in the middle of the field. We see that shot to Cook, but it meant that that person who wasn't covered wasn't being looked at all by the Blueberries. Neil commanding the space. Excellent grab.
A great find. Again, these Nexus handlers having some really strong connections. We haven't seen Cook as much in the backspace, but still able to be involved in these plays and be a valuable member of this Nexus offensive line.
Those shorter shots can be hard, especially as we said earlier, if you throw a forehand. But there's really, you can't really float a lot of stuff in this weather. You know, you have to send it with a little bit of zip. So those shorter shots have a smaller window in which to catch them, and sometimes we see what happened to Terry. It just kind of tumbles out of your hand.
Those small windows are definitely harder to get through, Rachel.
Absolutely. We see a disc going up, a pull from Judd. Nice height, and it rolls. Nice pull. It rolls towards the low side, through to low in the middle.
Chow now. Chow centering. Young looking back to Chow. Chow with a great power play or power position throw, but it's really floaty. Becomes a bit of a party ball, and Nexus able to swat it down. A great defensive play by Samantha Ruhlman, but unfortunately Judd immediately turfs it by Nexus, so Blueberries get a short field option of their own.
And that's bookends for Young. She gets the hand to the disc on D, and then she finishes the point off with a quick score. Excellent job, excellent work from her that point, and a good awareness to get the turn around, cut into the end zone.
Great heads-up defense and heads-up offense from the Blueberries, able to capitalize on a short field opportunity.
Lots of high fives in the field. We get to see this D. Big piece by Young. Lots of big celebration by her too. Starts on the break side, cuts to the open side, leaves Judd in her dust. Excellent work.
Yes, I originally said Judd turfed it, but I think Young got a good hand on it to try to force that turnover.
Absolutely, I bet her, I bet her hand stung a little bit after that.
Judd is also very accurate, so an uncharacteristic turnover.
Absolutely, sometimes you need to push those break side throws in order to figure out where the limit is as well. Ideally, that would be done before the game in training during the season. But hopefully Judd has adjusted her throws as a result.
This is also day 2 of a 3-day tournament, so we might start seeing some fatigue on these players. They have trained all year for this tournament, but it's tough to keep the energy high all weekend.
Yes, you have to pace yourself. I mean, especially, it's hard to train for a tournament, even if you train your fitness and multiple times a week. How to maintain a level over 3 whole days is kind of something you learn with experience.
Tan putting up the pull, Nexus now. Again, having to break through the Blueberries zone, but some great handler motion to try to make sure the Blueberries are on the back foot. Broadly now, calming down a little bit, swinging it. Attenberg carry.
Lynch now through to Parsons. Nexus have been good at providing multiple options to the person with the disc.
Parsons back to Lynch. Lynch is a little bit trapped on this closer sideline.
Oh, that's what she'd like you to think. Through now to Altenberg carry. Big fake. And almost another hawk, but inside shot downfield.
Broadly getting through the cup of Blueberries, able to push it, and so now they are home free. A great power position for O'Connor, able to find the goal.
Good use of the width of the field.
Yes, really forcing Blueberries to run from the close sideline to the far sideline and back, and you can see them thread that needle, get past most of Blueberries' defense, and Blueberries still trying to reset while the disc is moving for Nexus, and just has to get past one person to find the end zone.
The Blueberries player who was on the wing on the high side unfortunately didn't complete the switch with the deep defense, left that player open in the corner to score. Tan in the deep wasn't able to come and cover that quickly enough. So if you're coming close to the end zone, sometimes when you're playing zone, you need to be out of position a little bit in order to actually cover the scoring throw.
Yeah, that O'Connor to Bianca Phillip connection, so impressive for Nexus.
Yes, I like the patience there. The handlers were living with it, looking for the moment to break through, not scared to shoot over the top of the zone.
And the Nexus cutters playing some great heads-up offense as well, recognizing when the handlers were able to break through and forcing Blueberries to make hard decisions about who to cover.
Nexus now has a chance to come out on defense.
Tara O'Connor has just been such a weapon for this Nexus team with 2 goals, 2 assists, and a block. So really beneficial on both sides of the disc for Nexus. Chow now pulling in the pull. Huang.
We see Low receiving the disc now. We see match from Nexus. The tall mark of Ruhlman. But now we get it down the line. A big shot goes up from Young. Ooh,
Jones not able to pull it in, unfortunately, but some great movement through the handlers to have fast play for the Blueberries.
Absolutely. Taking that window as it's given to her in power position. And just kind of a little over her right-hand shoulder, maybe a little behind her grab that it's difficult to make. So disc is now going to be picked up by Neil. We see match. A big shot goes up from Neil, but that's really high, which is going to give the Blueberries time to get under it on defense. And a second chance given to Ruhlman, but not able to grab it. Sometimes you want to catch that on defense rather than pop it back up again for...
Huh doing a great job to get a hand on that disc and immediately in the backfield. Unfortunately, Low overthrows Young just a little bit.
Blueberries are quick to figure out their matchups.
Neil to pick up once again.
Some good movement on the mark here from Huang. Results in a late stall throw.
Neil this time able to connect with Ruhlman.
We see a little hug between Jones and Ruhlman.
Doesn't work the first time, might as well give it a shot one more time. And we can see again some incredible handler defense forcing that third, fourth throw option, but Ruhlman making so much space in the backfield to get this point for Nexus, and some great sportsmanship after the point.
And with that score and with that break from Nexus, we are at halftime. We have reached 8 points for Nexus. We'll take a break now. Teams will be able to discuss what happened in the first half.
Drink some water.
Get some sunscreen on board, talk to their coaches, and tackle the next half.
We'll see you on the other side. I'm Lauren Burgess.
Rachel Siahani Royal.
See you soon.
Hakite.
The reason why we chose to say goodbye, but I can't help my feelings. Right now, I can't deny you never left my mind, and now my heart is bleeding. Why did I have to break it up? Guess I was just a young girl living in a dream world. I thought that I'd be better off, but now I pay the price I do. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next day. I wish I wouldn't remember how you make me feel better in the best ways, the best ways. When I lay down at night, I miss you by my side, telling me about your secrets. I dream and fantasize that I come by your house, telling you about my regrets. Why did I have to break it up? Guess I was way too shallow, my mind was way too narrow. I thought that I'd be better off, but now I pay the price I do. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next day. I wish I wouldn't remember how you make me feel better in the best ways, the best ways. I know why we say goodbye, but can we turn that bye into hello? I know how to love you now. No matter what I do, I can't let go. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next day. I wish I wouldn't remember how you make me feel better in the best ways, the best ways. it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give it, we take the love that we make. It's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking.
Kia ora and welcome back to the Division 1 New Zealand Ultimate Championships here in Wellington, New Zealand. We have Nexus Wellington up against Blueberries Jam from Auckland in this power pool game. This is the second game of the day, but the first game for these two teams as they had a bye first round. Berries Jam are currently down by 2 breaks, so they've got a bit of work to do to stay in this game. Nexus looking confident on the field, now looking to pull and come out on defense.
Yep, Blueberries have a bit of work to do, but they do start on offense, so they can really pull the momentum in their favor coming out of half.
Yes, teams having a chance to talk at half and collate what everyone has noticed from the other team.
An impressive flat pull by Nexus. Blueberries picking up low, centering.
Through to Chow now on the high side. Huang working hard.
Nexus coming down in a zone defense.
Good reactions from Huang. Nice shot through.
Looks like they're now person to person.
Lee on the sideline, getting a little stuck by this mark. Low, there's a nice little jink to get free. Neil out of position, leaves someone very open. Mendez with the grab.
What a reel in. So impressive by Mendez.
We see Neil had come under to cover something and it wasn't picked up by her teammates in the end zone. We see this now.
Mendez just taking off on the side of your screen and Neil covering. Mendez wide open, no pressure, able to just let that come into her hands.
Yes, and that's the open side of the end zone there, forcing it towards the disc towards the camera. So a bit of a chat on the field after the points finished to figure out what went wrong on the Nexus defense. You've really got to guard that front cone first of all, especially when you get within about 20-30 meters.
And that's that momentum shift I was talking about, Rachel. A couple quick throws, breaking through that handler zone, hopefully gaining some confidence for the Blueberries to start making these breaks themselves. So 6 to 8, need those 2 breaks. Blueberries coming on defense, but if they can get a turnover and a score, that's a break for the Blueberries.
Yes, Blueberries did what they needed to do on offense. This point is a whole nother world for them, having to get a turn first of all before they can score themselves. We see Tan with the pull. She's been putting up a lot of pulls this game, getting used to the wind, but also it can get really fatiguing to put that pull up multiple times. Usually by the end of a tournament, I can feel my my shoulder wanting to give way.
Definitely helps to have multiple pullers on a team, or it can get really exhausting to do the same motion over and over again.
Especially in the wind. We see a little bit of a low pull, but it does skip. It's about 2/3 of the way down the field. We see 4 handlers back. Nexus perhaps anticipating the zone and wanting to give their handlers options.
Parsons to Lynch, continuing to swing. Gets up past the handlers. Halliday now resetting to Lynch. Lynch over to Parsons again.
You see lots of the handlers on Nexus are kind of reading the momentum of the handler marks on Blueberries, using their muscle memory to anticipate where the holes are.
A huge over-the-top put to break through that Blueberry zone. Nexus now with a really short field to score this. Halliday looking upfield.
Yeah, that was a sweet shot over the top to Cook, but now their handlers are having to settle in again and keep their composure. Halliday looking to Altenberg carry. It's low and it's snagged. Excellent work there. Stretching the hamstrings a little bit to reach down and grab that.
Altenberg carry with some fishing moves reels that disc in. So impressive by the Nexus offense.
We get to see that again now. Altenberg carry starts her, is ready to receive it in the middle, dishes it off again to Halliday, starts her cut early. Halliday waiting till the timing is right to shoot that shot. We see now on the field the Blueberry players are talking about what happened on defense. Very similar to what happened at the previous point. Nexus were talking about their holes on defense. So these teams still calibrating to each other.
Those 4 handlers in the backfield, so important for Nexus to keep the disc moving, get around the Blueberries, but that over-the-top throw to break past the handler defense was so vital for Nexus to be able to get this point into the end zone.
Absolutely, and it was like through the eye of a needle almost. It was an excellent kind of high release through to Phillip on the high side of the field.
The precision throws by both of these teams have been so impressive.
Yes, and especially in this wind. We have seen great shots that have come out too high or too low. So just trying to get all of those variables in line. But these experienced throwers know where their limits are and are being pushed to them to a certain extent with the wind and with this zone.
Nexus now with their D-line on the field.
We see Young to take the disc, to Huang to low. These 3 have been working together point after point. Huang's got an excellent pivot, really using her legs to change the angle and make the mark hard. Low looking to her now.
A pick called by Neil. And a turnover further down the field. So even though some of the players had stopped playing, because the play continued downfield, Blueberries would have needed to maintain possession. Because the disc hit the ground, regardless of the resolution of the call, this is going to be a turnover for Nexus. But as we discuss the pick call, now we're trying to figure out where the disc is going to come back on the field.
Potentially, if it affected the play because the call was before the throw went up, I think they're... Oh, no, it is a turn now. The pick rolls can be confusing sometimes, but they've resolved it quickly. Good knowledge of the rules by Neil.
Ruhlman now staying nice and relaxed with the disc, looking for her reset, able to find Neil.
Ruhlman off to the races now. She's cutting deep. Not thrown to, though. Back to Neil.
Ellie Young with the reset, staying wide, staying in that handler space.
We see now Gray swinging to Neil. Gray hanging out in the handler space, moving it through now. Too far.
Just out of the reach of Julia Lewis, but a great cut by Lewis to get open and beyond her defender.
This matchup of Huang and Neil happening again. Ooh, and it's too high for low.
The wind just picking it up at the worst possible time.
A huge cut there.
Young turns on the Jets, but not able to reel it in, unfortunately. A high turnover point, unfortunately.
Yes, and Neil let that go perhaps a second too soon, or just not enough float on it for Young. But still, it's a long way to go now. So looking for an early turn.
Low bringing it in. Young on the mark for Nexus.
Nice little jink there from Young. Excellent D.
What a hand block by Krumno. Young with the disc. Young looking for the end zone. Looks like there's a foul called.
An accepted foul is called. So disc is going back and play will resume. Good, quick resolution. Neil jinks, but she's very tightly covered. A late stall through to Krumno.
Young able to get it to Krumno. That's bookends for her.
Absolutely, very exciting.
An impressive defensive play and able to get open in the end zone.
And it all happened in that tight little corner up there as well. So
as we're talking about those narrow windows and precision throws, Nexus showing us exactly what we wanted to see.
Inside shot, low grab. Low's there, but no bid by her. Excellent throw there by Young, just dropping to her knees almost to send that to Krumno.
So that's a third break for Nexus now, widening the gap between Blueberries and themselves. Just 5 more points needed for Nexus to take this game home.
So
home's pretty close for them.
So this game, as important as winning it and points are, this game is about preparing for future matchups as well. So letting your coach kind of give you the information you need and tell you what you need to work on, and just making sure that you're not thinking about too many different things in the field. Just trying to fulfill your role, really.
And getting a feel for their opponents. As we mentioned earlier in the games, these are 2 teams that were undefeated earlier yesterday, so very high likelihood that they could see each other in the playoffs or even in the finals. Getting to know your opponent, understanding their moves, understanding their habits, so that you can hopefully play harder against them next time you see them.
Absolutely, trying to work out their plays, trying to work out what their calls mean. We see Judd now on our screens with the disc looking to pull. A little bit of a long break between points. A sharp pull, it's looking to roll.
A great roller.
Not stopped by the downfield Blueberries players, picked up by Tan. Tan is almost all alone, has one option in Chow.
Nexus throwing a zone look, a bit of an arrowhead zone.
There's so much space over here on the left-hand side, and it's just not enough. It drops to the ground. Quick turn. Terry looking now.
Terry with a bit of a give and go with Altenburg carry, but unfortunately another quick drop, so Blueberries have another opportunity to work it down the field. Ao Young resetting.
Tan trying to take advantage of a quick start, but now we're settling into zone. Oh, and right out of the hands of Jones. It kind of hit her really hard in the hands, and she wasn't able to get her fingers around it. Lynch looking to work it downfield. Long shot from Judd. Good float. Too much float. Just caught by the wind.
Wind caught that one at the worst possible time. And 2 defenders in the backfield to try to make sure that Nexus wasn't able to reel that in.
That's kind of, as soon as the disc goes a couple meters up, you're risking it being caught by the wind. You need to be careful when you're sending those longer shots, trying to keep them at a more catchable height for a longer part of its trajectory.
Blueberries now resetting into the end zone. So if Nexus is able to get a D in this end zone, really dangerous spot to be.
An exciting hammer, and it's taken away by Gray.
Judd looking for the score, unfortunately just barely out of the hands of Altenburg carry.
The head of the zone with their hands really high, trying to stop anything high released. Good grab by Chow in the air. We have a couple more handlers back now for Blueberries. A low side swings to Oh Young. Getting a little trapped, being pushed backwards now.
Really wanting to get off this sideline or push through the cup. And right as I say it, they're able to get through the handler marks. Now looking for more resets and spreading the field, using the width of the field to their advantage to try to make Nexus run as much as possible. Oh Young digs underneath it, but there's going to be some discussion around whether that was down or not.
Berries haven't been providing a lot of options from further down the field. We see that grab there. It's called back, and a big shot goes up to Jones. Jones looking downfield.
Nexus able to shut down the quick downfield look, so Blueberries resetting.
We see Tan now being approached by the head of the zone. Another low shot to Oh Young. Ooh, and these have been coming out low quite frequently. Just gonna need to work on that.
Chow now.
Maybe fatigue hitting Tan a little bit. She's been putting in a lot of work.
She has been working so hard for the Blueberries, really running their offense and their defensive lines.
Yeah, these cuts from the deeper downfield from Berries have kind of been swirling rather than assertive. A big shot by Jones to swing, back to Tan in the middle.
Jones coming back to give even more options to this backfield. As you can see, lots of side-to-side motion, but not a lot of opportunity downfield for the Blueberries.
Good pressure from the handler marks on Nexus. Gets the turn.
Another low throw, unfortunately, into the turf for the Blueberries. Some great handler movement from the Nexus. Judd finding Terry. Judd moving up for the strike again in a power position, but great shutdown defense by the Blueberries to prevent it.
Judd maybe also remembering the last shot she put up. That was way too high for her receiver, so.
Judd stretching the field so wide to Altenberg carry. Gets the reset.
Nice cut from Altenberg carry, clear through to Cook.
An easy open side flick.
Tan trying to get that D, but into the end zone. Secured by Phillip.
Judd, I think, had to disc every other throw that point. Really keeping a calm head, running the offense, keeping everybody relaxed, and making sure that the Nexus were able to take down another break.
That's a tough point for the Blueberries. We see some players with maybe hands on knees. We see a little bit of fatigue. Heads are down a little bit. This is another break. That's 2 in a row from Nexus. Blueberries have been able to string together their offense, but they're just being forced to make so many throws by the zone that in the end, it's just the wind is also not helping in creating those turns.
Those side-to-side throws without any gain up the field makes it really difficult for any team to score. To score, you got to get in the end zone. And if you're going side to side, that's the wrong direction.
As the point becomes longer and longer, everyone gets a little tired, and the front of the zone on defense, the Nexus zone, does get more fatigued. It would be nice. We know that the handlers on Blueberries have those slicey inside shots. So as the front of the zone is readjusting, it would be nice to see some options for those inside shots. But the receivers aren't quite making those cuts.
It's a really difficult position for the Blueberries because you want to keep putting on the best of the best on your team to try to get some of these breaks, but then you're also working out your top players, using their legs, using the energy, and without breaks coming through, you're getting lots of fatigue without a lot of return.
We see a local here who is watching the Frisbee we're putting on. Big pull. It's a little low, nose down. Giving plenty of opportunity for Nexus to get down on defense, though. We see Huang, big shimmies to get it to Young in the middle. Moving her mark, Young back to Huang. This match defense, again, we see Mendez poached off of. Mendez is now open on this low side, but not wanting to throw it to her. Instead, Huang is cutting into her space. Big shot goes up. 2 Nexus players, but it goes a little further.
A great pull down by Tara O'Connor for Nexus.
Oh, and out of the hands of Neil. That was Krumnow, which sent it quickly. I don't think Neil expected that with enough time to prepare.
There was a bit of pressure from Huang as well, which may have forced Neil to go up sooner than she wanted to.
And we see Huang going deep from the handler space, but Ruhlman reads that, is able to get that poach block, hands it off to Neil.
Neil now looking for options.
Gray chasing it down the line. Nice pursuit, good focus, and sends a low shot through. Ooh, I think that's good. Disappointing for Gray.
Very disappointing for Gray. The wind, again, quite gusty, and it's starting to force these throws down. It's not just the players who are getting these low throws. They are disadvantaged by the wind.
Can be really tough on games like this where you have to constantly switch between offense and defense because there have been so many turns. Trying to remember what you're focusing on when you're on offense, when you're on defense. You have to be flexible with your mindset. Low in the middle now. Keeps it open, not wanting to send it to low side.
Sometimes even just remembering which end zone you're going towards. It's really easy to get twisted around as to which direction you're trying to go. An incredible Mac by Nexus to try to get a turnover, but Blueberries reeling it in.
We see 86 now with the disc.
Lee with lots of quick motion, lots of pivots, finding Young. No, finding back to Young. Young, lots of fakes, looking for options.
A very loud sideline here, calling a pick. Also, Nexus perhaps changing their force. I think they were trying to alert the players in the field what they're doing, but the pick will be resolved before we resume. Excellent piece, but good backup by Huang there.
What a beautiful D. Disappointing that it wasn't effective, but a great D. Huang now resetting.
Young looks to the inside, and it's all grass, unfortunately. Kromna looking big. We can hear Ruhlman calling from the deep, but it's kind of stifled by Berries.
Gray finding upline throws. Lots of great motion from Nexus to get around the Blueberries.
There was an excellent almost run through D, but Ruhlman had hands all over the disc. Neil jinking back and forth.
Parsons looking for options. Finds O'Connor, but a pick was called.
We saw Neil trying to cut to get open in just kind of a 2-3 meter squared area. I think she might have gotten caught up with O'Connor's mark.
Some spirited discussion. Looks like everything's been resolved. Disc coming back in.
So we resolved the positioning as a result of the pick, and we continue down the line to Parsons. Nice.
Parsons widening the field to Neil.
O'Connor's just constantly moving.
A great second chance grab down by Gray, reeling it in for the team.
Oh, and heaps of room to take that. Excellent work.
A bladey shot by O'Connor to find the opposite side of the end zone becomes another score for Nexus.
Another break.
3 breaks in a row.
Tsang had just heaps of room on that right-hand side of the end zone. She starts her cut now, or she starts moving into position. 7 cut to the right-hand side.
And sees a wide open end zone, beats her defender, no one else around.
That throw was put up as she was turning around, which was a good amount of trust and training. They know where the spaces to attack with the disc is, and also they know that someone is going to be there to receive the disc.
That's the sort of end zone play you train day after day at practice for these opportunities specifically.
So Nexus have now doubled Blueberry's score. We see our stats here. That was O'Connor to Tsang. O'Connor is a really versatile player. Not scared to come into the handler space, but also loves to go for a run as well. But she's an interesting player to watch. If you watch her on offense and follow her the whole point, you'll see she barely ever stops moving. So Berries now another offense point for them. That's them coming out, I believe, the 5th point in the row or 4th point in the row on offense, but not able to score. Tan having a good chat to her team about what they can do.
Nexus ready for the pull, just waiting for Blueberries to signal their readiness as well.
Pull goes up. Judd's been throwing those rollers quite frequently. Gets good distance, and the roll also gives time for the front of the zone. Too far for Chow. First throw turnover.
Those are always so disappointing. Also giving Nexus the opportunity for a 4th break with a short field.
We see Perry now lefty to Broadly, and Broadly to the feet of her receiver, unfortunately.
Not quite able to connect with Lewis. Nexus gonna want to force another quick turnover out of the Blueberries. Blueberries want to stretch down this field and just hold for a score.
Nexus trying a little trap on the sideline here, trying to force this down the line movement, which is exactly what we see, and it's called out.
Lots of fakes before this throw goes off. Let's see if we can see Oh Young's feet. That's a tough one. Looks like one of their feet was already out when they caught the disc.
That one's tough. Disc is called out. Even with the replay, it's tough to tell which foot was touching where when they caught the disc. Short field now. Young looking.
Yes, Alicia! Yes! Yes!
A down the line cut to make space in the handler spot. Stretching grab from Perry. Quick lefty shot. Ooh, and Altenberg carry. Booth. Booth is now trying to cover the deep. And that shot's away just too fast for Jones.
A huge unleashing throw by the Blueberries. Jones has been so dangerous in the backfield, usually able to reel in those big downfield throws, but unfortunately wasn't able to get hands on it this time. Nexus with another opportunity. Terry with the disc. Terry finding Young. Young looking for a reset. Finds Broadly, then for a quick reset to Terry, back to Broadly. Broadly just overthrows Terry, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a bit too far for Terry. Terry also had Tan on her right shoulder, who was hunting to get a hand in there. Terry's now going to work at the front of the zone.
Lots of great defensive pressure from the Blueberries. They are not giving up on this game.
Absolutely not. Being forced backwards again. Looks to slice it in the middle, instead opts to go around.
Some very deep resets, so forcing themselves even further back, and then turfs it. So another short field turnover. Judd already looking at the end zone. Lots of fakes to move her defender. Ends up having to reset. Young with a deep grab. Further discussion about up calls. Did it touch the ground, or was Young able to get a hand underneath it? Let's take a look here.
That might have been up, actually. But that throw from Judd just dropped really quickly.
Here in the booth, it definitely looks up to us, but it is not up to us to make a call.
Maybe not definitely, but probably.
We can support the sideline if they ask for it, but because Ultimate is a self-officiated sport, it is the responsibility of the players on the field to resolve the calls. Back to Young. Young with a nice wide throw, but another turnover. We've had a few really high turnover points this game. This gusty wind playing, I would say, to neither team's advantage, just being a detriment.
It means that we've been playing on the same side of the field, the low side, quite a lot as well. This sideline getting a lot of action. Stifling mark from Terry. Shoots a late shot down the line.
Commentator catching the frisbee. Rachel Sioani Royal is an Ultimate player, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I was aiming for the computer. I just, but yeah, sorry for the interruption. It goes down line. It never went back in on the field, so it will be coming in close to the end zone.
She's an athlete.
So Nexus now coming in on offense. Terry with the lefty, through to Judd for a quick score.
And that is a 4th break in a row for the Nexus, but both teams really had to work for that one.
Yeah, lots of turns. It felt long. It felt like a long point.
It did feel like a long point.
But it was kind of consistently moving down the field with turn after turn. It kind of worked its way towards the Nexus end zone.
It did. I don't think the disc ever got past half field with a completed throw.
Yeah, just that long shot that we had. So we now have about 6 or 7 minutes left in this game, but also a game to 15. So it's quite likely that we will see Nexus reach 15.
Unless Blueberries go on a break train.
Oh, absolutely.
There's always that opportunity. Unfortunately, a bit too much of a deficit for Blueberries to come all the way back to win the game, but they can still get some points in.
Yes, trying to work on their offense and drill their chemistry for the weekend. But Nexus have a lot of momentum behind them. They have been putting some quite tall players up the front of their zone, and that has been really effective. Terry's been there, I think, almost every other point.
Absolutely. They've also got some supporters on the sidelines because they've got this home field advantage. Some friends, some family coming out to support their teammates, their loved ones, some viewers on the hill with a great grandstand.
Absolutely. We have some excellent fields here. Thanks also to the Wellington City Council for providing these fields for us. It's an excellent location, and we're lucky to be in the city.
Wind picking up right as the pull goes off, but a great roll.
Low goes to her knees to stop that from rolling out of the sideline, which is a good move. It gives them the chance to move it to the high side.
Some quick throws from the Blueberries.
Some smart defense on the handlers. There's some little switches going on. We now see Young trying to peer around the Altenberg carry. Shoots it to Huang.
Now that the Blueberries have gotten through the handler defense, Nexus has gone to a person mark, and Blueberries taking advantage of that opportunity, really getting some shorter upline throws, working their way up the field. Low now finds Huang, back to Low.
Huang being such a responsive player. Her eyes are glued to Low and trying to respond to her and give her what she needs.
But this Huang-Neil matchup this entire game has been so impressive.
It's been really exciting to watch. And that shot, it is not enough for Young to pick up. It's a turn. They've been rushing it, kind of pushing through the middle quite a bit.
Neil to pick up, so we get to see more of this matchup that's been so entertaining all game. Parsons with the disc.
Sends it big to Lewis.
A huge look.
Sorry, to Philip, but it's not enough.
Just out of the fingertips of Philip. Such an impressive look.
I like that though. You could see Philip and Parsons lock eyes, and Philip takes off, and Parsons rewards that effort with the huck.
Huang taking her time before picking up the disc, giving everyone a little bit of a breather.
There was a poach there by Kromna on D, and Blueberries find the poached off player. Nice.
Blueberries now working it up the field. Chansey looking for a reset.
Through to Young. Has a cutter in the end zone. And a second go at it for Oh Young. Oh, and doesn't make the lay.
Not able to pull it in, but such an impressive run in the end zone. Parsons to pick up for Nexus.
We see some matchups now. Low on the disc, marking Parsons. Parsons moves quickly. As soon as she established a pivot, she sends the disc to Neil. Neil weighing her options now. Altenberg carry, clearing the space. Big shot. We've got a player deep, O'Connor.
O'Connor able to reel it in. Once again, Philip streaking deep, this time reeling it in for Nexus. That's number 5.
5 in a row, absolutely.
5 in a row.
Sorry, that was Parsons receiving it deep to then send it to score. The Parsons-Philip connection that we did see earlier managed to play out now. We get to see that shot again. Parsons keeping her eye on the disc.
Locked in.
Good acceleration from Philip. To finish the point off.
Can barely even see the Blueberries defender in the shot.
A late stall throw from Neil there, but as you can feel the stall increasing, sometimes just a blind cut to the end zone is what is needed.
And huge credit to Huang's defense on Neil for that high stall count throw. Playing really strong defense. At one point you saw her pull off of the mark a little bit, and that was to try to prevent the deep throw from happening. But as soon as she came tighter towards Neil, Neil able to release that huge put to Parsons and run through their offense.
We see some of the Wellington locals on the hill next to us having a bit of fun.
Doing some hill sledding.
It's a Saturday morning after all. What else are you going to do?
Having a good time.
Some high speed action on the hill.
High speed action on the hill, high speed action on the fields with some really impressive running. Some great energy from both teams, even high into this match timing.
This could be really hard when you're calling the line and you're talking to your teammates. You've said everything you want to say about offense and it hasn't worked so far. What can you say that's new? What can you say that is going to be effective? We see, oh, and to the knees. Tan not able to get there. Quick movement, a quick start from Nexus. This is their match point potentially.
Judd finding quick movement in the handler set. Halliday.
Lynch fakes the hammer. Through to Judd. Judd's been really safe so far. There's a travel call on Judd.
Judd coming back a bit with that travel call.
But then dishes it off quickly.
Finds O'Connor. O'Connor over the top. Not able to make it. A great defensive play by Blueberries.
That just catching the wind. Huge shot now. Jones looking for it. Finding it as well.
What a grab by Jones, but unfortunately that leading throw for Huang runs through her hands.
We see Lynch now. And just Tan, once again, scooping up those overthrows.
Over to Oh Young. Oh Young with another reset to Huang.
Oh, nice find there. Chow ready to receive that. Swings it again, changes angle.
Threading the needle with that throw. Jones now all the way on the other side of the field again, spreading this field out, forcing Nexus to use their legs.
Jones has been playing as a downfield receiver quite a lot this game, but she's now hanging out on the high side. That can potentially create a little bit, too far for Chow. Kind of split the difference between Jones and Chow there. Judd looking to move it quickly.
Nexus with another opportunity to close this out now.
Be nice if Lynch to show us her hammer again now.
Lynch to Judd. Judd to Parsons, but once again gets hit with a travel.
The travel rules have changed over the last couple of years, so whether she was changing direction as she was moving or not slowing down as she was moving.
Gray to Halliday.
To Gray now. We need Nexus to show that they are disciplined with this disc now and aren't rushing it. They're going to want to finish this point off confidently to set the tone for their next game and for the rest of the tournament.
Lynch finds O'Connor. O'Connor finding Halliday. Back to O'Connor. O'Connor looking at the end zone. Unfortunately, a little too bladey.
O'Connor sending that shot up and losing her balance as she does so.
Taking a bit of a nap there for a minute. It's been a long point. A long game, I should say.
Yes, we've now reached the time cap a couple minutes ago, according to our clock here. Regardless, it's going to be game to 15. Swung now to He.
Oh Young.
Oh Young, apologies.
Oh Young centering to Huang.
And we see a run-through attempt here by O'Connor. Really hungry for that D. Tan keeps it alive, sent it so fast. So fast.
It was a great look. She did have a player open down the field. Of course, it's Jones. But unfortunately, Jones wider on the field, not quite where she needed to be for that connection.
Great work by Malin Huang there, not to be distracted by the defensive pressure of O'Connor, instead centering it to Tan. Now we see Lynch looking for a big shot, but completely covered by a wall of blue.
Halliday now.
Broadly.
With great fakes. Oh, what great defensive playing. Tan now looking downfield once again, and Oh Young reeling it in. They have some sticky fingers.
Absolutely. That was a spicy little shot that came up. And Tan with the bookends. Gets that turn, reads the disc. You see her change direction towards to attack the disc on that defensive play. Shoots for
Oh Young.
And
Oh Young just wide open.
And a good job by Oh Young to maintain her balance. She kind of has to lean forwards into the disc to grab that, and she does an excellent job of it.
She absolutely does. Makes sure she's got plenty of space, moves toward the open side, and they are wide open there for the disc.
So that stops the flood of points that Nexus have been scoring. They're still on Nexus only has to score 1 more point to finish this game, so.
And now they're on offense, so if they're able to get a clean hold, they're going to take this game home.
Absolutely, and this will mean that their semi is, or their pre-semi, their next game, the next game after lunch is potentially going to be a little bit easier. So it's an important game for both teams. But the way that the losing team responds is going to be really telling.
And easier is relative, Rachel. These are the best teams in the nation. We've got our top 8 women's teams playing against each other. Some really high-level ultimate at this tournament.
Absolutely. We'd love to see some exciting plays, and we have been rewarded.
We've been rewarded with some sun. Still a bit of wind. We are in the windiest city in the world, but having a wonderful time playing sports with our friends here.
All right, a big point now for the Berries D-line. Low sending up the pull. Sending it from the low side as well. But nice float on that.
Again, about 2/3 down the field, but throwing against the wind, so really impressive.
Low did a good job of putting that huck up, putting that pull up, but also being the first person on the disc.
Parsons, center handler, great disc movement between her, Terry, Young, and Crumno.
Young's doing a great job of being just behind the wall of the initial Blueberries defense and trying to find holes. We see her spreading it wide now. Crumno to Young. Ooh, and it's just too far.
Krum now with a great throw, just barely off the fingertips of Young. Low now to pick up for the Blueberries.
Low has sent some backhand hucks down this sideline so far this game. It's currently a Flik force mark, so she's been forced to look for her dump. Young is the dump and picks that up near the grass.
A great reel-in by Young.
Ooh, that's floaty. Trying to find someone on the high side.
Unfortunately, no one available for the Blueberries, so Nexus with an immediate deep look.
Parsons sends it. Parson knows Ruhlman loves a long shot, knows that she's somewhere in the end zone, and just airs it out. It's a bit of a hungry point there from Parsons. As soon as the disc touches the ground, she's running over to it to pick it up.
Lots of fast movement from both teams trying to use these turns to their advantage.
Low has also been really instrumental to the Blueberries this game. She's been every other touch quite frequently. We see Ruhlman covering the unders, pointing and talking to her players. The Mark's doing a really good job of just basically shutting down anything in this backhand space. Oh, what a break. I don't even know if the receiver expected that to come up.
That was such an impressive throw, but unfortunately not able to connect with her teammate. Parsons now with an inside backhand to finish off the game.
Phillip to score that point. That was just uncoverable by Blueberries defense, so excellent way to finish the game.
What a way to take advantage of a short field. Nexus coming back in this second half, so dominant against the Blueberries. Great motion on both offense and defense from both teams. So excited to see what else they have in store for us for the rest of the tournament. We here at Ulti TV have 2 more games for you today and 4 games tomorrow, including the Opens and the Women's Final. Thank you so much for joining us for this game, Nexus against Blueberries Jam. I've been Lauren Burgess.
My name's Rachel Sea Honey Royal.
We'll see you on the next one.
Kakite.
Ulti.tv